Let's talk about judgment. Something I hear so many Christians say is the Bible says not to judge, or judging is wrong. But what does the Bible really say about judging? Today, I'm going to be telling you guys what biblical judgment really is. Let's get into it. So, the first thing to consider when you're judging is who you're judging. Whether you're judging a believer or non-believer is really important, and how you judge depends on who it is. We see this in 1 Corinthians 5, 9 through 13. I wrote to you in a letter not to associate with sexually immoral people. I did not mean the immoral people of this world, or the greedy and swindlers or idolaters. Otherwise, you would have to leave the world. But actually, I wrote you not to associate with anyone who claims to be a brother or sister, and is sexually immoral or greedy, an idolater or verbally abusive, a drunkard or a swindler. Do not even eat with such a person. So right here, Paul is telling us not to associate with believers who claim to be followers of Jesus, but produce fruit not consistent with faith. We can, however, associate with the sinners of the world, because we'd have to leave the world to not associate with them. For what business is it of mine to judge outsiders? Don't you judge those who are inside? God judges outsiders. Remove the evil person from among you. Here's what we need to pay attention to regarding judgment. As Christians, it's our job to judge people inside of the church. We have to hold each other accountable and call out one another when we stray away. And when we do this, we need to do it without hypocrisy and with grace, something I'll touch on later. It's God's job to judge the world, not ours. We can use discernment and recognize, okay, what they're doing is wrong, but we have to remember that those people don't know Jesus. It's not fair to hold them to the same standards that we hold Christians to. I think something that the church has often gotten wrong in the past is that instead of trying to show the world Jesus, they go straight to the sin and try to change that. It's like they try to treat the symptoms instead of getting rid of the disease. God will judge the people of the world. Our job, given to us by Christ, is to share the good news and tell them about our King. Salvation comes first, and then sanctification. So how do we judge when we're judging other Christians? Matthew 7, 1 through 6 tells us, "Do not judge so that you won't be judged. For you will be judged by the same standard with which you judge others, and you will be measured by the same measure you use. Why do you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but don't notice the beam of wood in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the splinter out of your eye,' and look, there's a beam of wood in your own eye? Hypocrite! First, take the beam of wood out of your eye, and then you will see clearly to take the splinter out of your brother's eye." So if we're only looking at Matthew 7:1, we might think that the Bible condemns judgment, but we need to look at the entire passage in context. Jesus isn't telling us to not use discernment and judge the actions of others. He's telling us that when we judge, we need to judge them by the same standard that we would have them judge us with. Don't judge other Christians harshly and without grace. Be honest and tell them what they've done wrong, but do it in a gracious and kind way. Remember that God has shown us all mercy and grace for what we've done. How we treat other people should be no different. We also learn from this passage that when we judge, we need to consider our own actions first. Are we living in the same sin we're about to correct someone else on? Don't be a hypocrite. Practice what you preach. Before you correct and judge others, fix your own actions. So when we judge, let's judge the way Jesus told us to. Well guys, I hope that helps you understand better what biblical judgment really looks like. Always remember, judgment is not a bad thing, though many people may try to tell you that it is. You might be called judgmental or intolerant for trying to state the truth. But we have to utilize judgment to discern truth from lies, right from wrong, and good fruit from bad fruit. What matters about judgment is how you judge. Judge righteously, without hypocrisy, and with grace. Bye guys.